Okay, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack something truly, literally fascinating. We're looking at an absolute masterclass on digital audience engagement, which is kind of disguised as a simple set of instructions. What we've got in front of us is a highly targeted 16 prompt that's explicitly designed to engineer a viral children's cartoon. We're going to deconstruct this blueprint to see exactly how content is being built from the ground up to grab and completely hold on to a young audience's attention in the modern digital landscape. Right off the bat, the source material hands us its core thesis statement. It says, for a kid's cartoon video that can attract views in 2026, use a simple, colorful, fast-paced story with cute characters. Now you might be thinking, well, yeah, obviously. But the absolutely crucial point is right there in the text. This isn't just about telling a sweet little story. The stated, literal objective is to attract views in the highly specific landscape of 2026. Every single word in this directive, simple, colorful, fast-paced, cute, is a calculated metric for success. It's basically the ultimate formula for capturing a young viewer's attention and holding on to it for dear life. To see how this formula plays out in the real world, we're going to look at a case study generated by this exact prompt. It's titled Baby Dino's Lost Rainbow. Over the next few minutes, we'll be breaking down the exact anatomy of this formula, literally scene by scene. We're going to look right under the hood of Baby Dino's Lost Rainbow to understand precisely why this structure works so well and how it meticulously follows that mandate to be simple, colorful, fast-paced, and jam-packed with cute characters. Okay, moving on to step 1, introducing the core conflict to create an immediate hook. Here's the thing about digital media, especially when it comes to kids. You absolutely do not have time for a slow, meandering introduction. Scene 1 pulls off this immediate hook by using a really clever contrast. We start off with a highly comforting, super familiar image, a cute baby dinosaur waking up. But then, instantly, in the exact same breath, boom, we're hit with the inciting incident. Our dino discovers the rainbow has disappeared from the sky. By juxtaposing the safe, cuddly character with a sudden, highly visual problem, the prompt creates an undeniable hook. I mean, there's no waiting around here. The mystery is front and center in frame 1. But you know, a visual mystery isn't quite enough on its own. It has to be delivered in the exact right package. So the prompt explicitly mandates these stylistic requirements for scene 1. Bright colors, cheerful music, and a cartoon style. Actually, let's be real, these aren't just mere suggestions. They are rigorous requirements designed to guarantee maximum sensory engagement. Think about it. Even though a problem has just been introduced, the missing rainbow, the cheerful music and the bright colors ensure that the pacing and tone stay relentlessly positive and stimulating from the very first frame. Which brings us to number 2. Assembling the friendly crew, and building that essential ensemble cast. So now that the viewer is completely hooked by this conflict, the story intentionally expands. The prompt clearly recognizes that to keep a viewer's interest locked in over the whole explainer, it needs an ensemble cast. This gives the audience all these diverse points of connection. And the cast introduced in scene 2? It's carefully, beautifully engineered. We start with Baby Dino, whose main trait is cute. Then we throw in a bunny, who is happy, a monkey who's dancing, and an elephant who is friendly. Do you see what's happening here? Notice how deliberately each character fulfills a specific, overwhelmingly positive emotional trait? There are 0 grumpy or complicated characters here. It is a highly optimized mix designed to just captivate a young audience by giving them this variety of energetic, joyful avatars to follow around. All right, step number 3, crafting a magical journey that's practically bursting with high stimulation. Remember that mandate for a fast-paced story? Well, the prompt outlines a massively stimulating progression for our friends to travel through, specifically to keep the momentum going at an absolute breakneck speed. Step 1, they enter a candy forest. Step 2, they cross a bubble river. And step 3, they arrive at a giant toy playground. This is such a brilliant visual retention tactic. By constantly escalating the scenery to these ever more fantastical, over-the-top locations, the video makes sure the viewer's eyes literally never get bored. Honestly, the background is doing just as much heavy lifting as the characters to hold on to that attention. But it's not all about the visuals, right? The prompt explicitly dictates exactly what must happen in these crazy environments. Funny moments and lots of laughter. It actually mandates laughter. This just reinforces the idea that this fast-paced visual sprint through the candy and the bubbles has to be paired with consistent, recurring comedic payoffs. You have got to keep that emotional energy sky high if you want to successfully hold on to a 2026 digital attention span. Up next is number 4, the educational resolution, functioning as a really smart problem-solving loop. This is where the narrative seamlessly blends interactive problem-solving with some foundational learning. The prompt dictates a highly specific number for this climax, and that number is 7. Our crew doesn't just find some generic magic wand to fix the sky. No, they have to find 7 magical color stars hidden around that giant toy playground. And why 7? Well, because it perfectly aligns with the colors of a rainbow, obviously. It sets up this highly structured, predictable sequence for the audience.
And that brings us to a defined mechanic, interactive progression. It works like this. Each discovered star sequentially adds a single color back to the missing rainbow. So the big takeaway here is that this isn't just passive viewing. This mechanical loop keeps kids completely engaged by having them mentally collect the stars right alongside the characters. It basically transforms the climax into this deeply satisfying step-by-step puzzle where the audience gets to watch the solution physically build before their eyes, color by color. It's a real game changer.
Just look at the beautiful structural symmetry this creates. Scene 1 established the problem. The rainbow has disappeared from the sky. Now, in Scene 5, the prompt simply states, the rainbow returns to the sky. It's an incredibly simple, deeply satisfying narrative loop. It provides this crystal clear, undeniable before and after resolution. The chaos of the missing rainbow, it's been entirely solved, restoring total order to our little cartoon world.
To celebrate this big resolution, the prompt calls for a highly specific musical moment. All the animals dance and sing these exact lyrics. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, what a scene. Now, this isn't just a fun little song. It serves as the ultimate educational payoff for this target demographic. It reinforces basic color learning in a catchy, rhythmic format right at the absolute peak of the story's emotional resolution. Basically, it's learning cleverly disguised as a victory dance.
Finally, we hit number 5, the ultimate happy ending, meticulously designed for audience retention. Now, you might think the story is totally over once the rainbow is back, right? But in the highly optimized world of 2026 video creation, the ending is actually a retention tool. Just look at the final scene checklist the prompt demands. Fireworks, balloons, smiling animals, and explicitly a happy ending. We are literally walking through a gauntlet of explosive, overwhelmingly positive visual elements. This whole combination is specifically engineered to maximize a feeling of pure joy and satisfaction. And why do all that? Because you want the viewer leaving the video on an absolute high, feeling fantastic, and primed to immediately click on the very next video recommended to them. The whole shebang is built for that exact next click.
So we've seen the exact anatomy of a video perfectly designed to capture views, the fast-paced hook, the engineered characters, the interactive progression, and that sensory explosion of a happy ending. It's genuinely a fascinating look at just how structured and purposeful digital content creation has become. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. If this tight, algorithm-friendly blueprint is the proven formula for engaging audiences in 2026, what colors, what stories, and what structured journeys will we be chasing next? Thank you so much for exploring this with me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.